Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be covering everything about the update that just came out yesterday. So there are a bunch of small quality of life stuff in this update, but today I'll just be covering the exciting stuff. The most meaningful part of this update is how they've reworked Prime abilities and their behavior. I'll go through all of the information first, and then I'll show some gameplay. So from the newsletter, a small number of battle-related Prime changes will be enabled with the update, such as Prime deployment and Prime abilities becoming separate actions. Primes can now be healed, and Primes can now be affected by special abilities such as Optimus Prime's Inspiring Charge. And they kind of hinted at it, but they didn't specifically say it. Now that the Prime deployment and Prime abilities are separate actions, when you deploy them, they don't use their abilities anymore. So that's the biggest change, and I'll come back to the Primes in just a second. But real quick, some UI changes you'll notice when you open the game. The Prime Lab now shows a building label when no Prime upgrade is active, and it shows the remaining upgrade time when a Prime is being upgraded. The Research Lab now shows how many research slots are currently in use, and the Power Lab now shows how many power cores you have. So those are the main things you'll notice with the update. There are also a bunch of small quality of life changes, but they're pretty minor, so I won't be going over all of them. If you're interested in those, go check out the newsletter. Alright, so back to the Primes. Let's hop into some base trials to show how they work. Unfortunately, my main Prime Megatronus is upgrading right now, so today we're going to use Solus. So the deployment is the exact same. You need to get a certain amount of energy to deploy them. In this case, against a max base, Solus needs 19, but you'll notice two things. One, even after you hit the required amount, it keeps counting the energy you get, and when I deploy her, she's not going to use her ability. If I want to use her ability, I need to collect another 19 points, and now I can use her ability, which is this drone thing right here. But what does their ability really mean? Let's go take a look. So, their passive ability on the left here stays the same, just like how it was. Stays active from the time you deploy them until they die. But the second ability, or the special ability on the right here, this is what you can use multiple times. So I wish they'd make it a bit more clear, but basically the first part here doesn't really count. It's just the initial deployment effect, for which for Solus costs 19 points, which is absolutely insane. Then for another 19 points, so 38 total, she'll use her ability, which is the bottom part here. And it's the same for Megatronus. The top part, we don't care about. And then the second part on the bottom here, this is what we can use multiple times. So, to me, this is super disappointing. I already wasn't a huge fan of Primes, and to me, this is a step back. I saw on Discord that the cost of them will go down with the total Prime power coming out, but they say stuff then change their mind all the time, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen. If it does happen, how much will it decrease the cost? I don't know. How much of a grind will it be to unlock that perk? I don't know. But to me, just Primes are insanely overpriced and way too big of a grind for how much they actually help you. I don't want to go on a huge tangent or anything, but I just can't stress how disappointed I am. This game has so many issues, and they're just being neglected because it's a small dev team, and they're spending so much time on the Primes and HQ19, which is coming out. We haven't seen the HQ19 yet, but so far just Primes have been just such a disappointment and so underwhelming. And just not worth it in so many ways. But yeah. So, I don't know what to say beyond how disappointed I am. But those are the highlights of the update, and that's all I've got today. If you're still here, thanks for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like. If you keep coming back, a sub would be appreciated. And I'll see you next time.